to just say, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, I see you're focused on this, but what if we just turn this focus elsewhere and see what you can do here? And that was really cool. It's like I said, I didn't work at the garden at the restaurant in Meadowood to work at the restaurant at Meadowood. You know what I'm saying? I worked at the farm because I wanted to work at the farm and I wanted to excel at that. And he saw in me what I could achieve in that role, and he did. And then I was able to do it, and I you put that laser focus on it, and it's a shit ton of work.
From when I got there, knowing what the larder was when I got there to when after you took over the program and literally doubled it, like I was like, God damn. And it always makes me think of this one. I watched this one documentary on Netflix about homeless people on Skid Row. Let me tell you how this connects. Right?
I didn't start out homeless on Skid Row.
He didn't start homeless on Skid Row. That's not what this connects.
Okay.
All right. So this man is talking about this old lady on Skid Row, and he's like, you know what? If I had a garden or a farm, I would just have a farm so this little old lady could put her trash in it. Because she was a trash collector, right? They're all homeless. Mm. And I was like, this is the same scenario where it's like, you need to build Charlie a bigger room because he is going to fill it with preserved ingredients native to California. Yeah. Where else will you find that?
Yeah, dude.
Fucking nowhere. I'm talking about chrysanthemum flowers, lily flowers, all mushrooms. When I say all mushrooms, I'm not going to go into what kind of mushrooms because I mean all fucking mushrooms that are native to Northern California.
That are edible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not the poison. And all these things, and it's like you walk into this room, and the only reason you have those ingredients is because of one man. And that is hard to say at these, these other 3-star restaurants that have 60 to 80 people ready to go. Yeah. Ready to go harvest those things. Mm-hmm. Like, the fact is, this man did it on his own and maybe with the help of us sometimes,
Yeah.
And that is one of the biggest victories I've ever seen in your career.
Yeah.
Well, and none of it could be done without the fucking thinking behind Chef Costow and the restaurant itself.
Yeah.
And with all the people that came before then.
Yeah, we're all honestly just building.
We're all building it because Cameron Rates was the first one.
Yeah.
He was the first one to build the fact that there could be a position in a restaurant where this man goes and harvests things on the wild.
Yeah.
And makes vinegars and makes preserves. Mm-hmm. That was Cameron Rates.
Yeah. Shout out to Cameron Rates.
Yeah, shout out to Cameron Rates. And it's like, it wouldn't have been done if it wasn't for that man's interest and that interest piquing itself in Chef Costow and him being like, this is valuable toward the cuisine that I am building.
Yeah, let's develop this. Yeah.
And, you get there, you double the program, and it becomes amazing. And I got to say, the best part about it is you look at both restaurants and you're part of a lot of those menu items at both restaurants.
Yeah.
And that's what's cool about it.
I mean, that's why you do it.
Yeah.
Like, there was, the 20, like, I ain't gonna lie, the work was put in. Like,
yeah, for sure.
Dude,
I'm talking about the peaches being peeled.
Yeah, I'm talking the 24-hour nights.
Yeah,
the working through the nights.
The feijoa flowers being harvested.
Yeah. The fucking coming Charlie. In earlier.
Yeah.
The staying later.
Yeah.
And, like I said, a lot of people, they kind of dog that because they're like, well, why couldn't they just hire 3 people to do that? And it's because it's not a special at that point.
Yeah.
And
it's the passion.
It's the passion.
You don't do this shit for the money.
No.
And neither do any of us.
You do it to be, in what your eyes is the best.
Yeah, exactly.
And
that's it.
You come into this team, right? The restaurant I met with, this team. The Charter Oak, this team. And I like to compare it to like a football team or a basketball team. You know what I'm saying? Like, Allen Iverson, he didn't become who he was with his abilities on working 8-hour days.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? He did nothing but eat, sleep, and think about basketball to become what he did, to achieve what that team did. You know what I'm saying? It's all about, you sign up for this and you know what you're getting yourself into, and that is to create something that's much bigger than yourself.
Yeah.
And really, it can't be done by it's a restaurant. You know, you're not going to have, I mean, certain restaurants do, you know, I don't know how they work, you know, business wise, having 40 cooks. They're all still working long days, but you know, you're not going to have 40 cooks working 8-hour days, 5 days a week, and being able to achieve what you need to achieve.
No,
like
definitely not.
It's just not happening.
It takes work further than labor laws. You know what I mean?
It's
have
passion.
Provided.
It's
passion.
It's a passion.
It's
the
time.
fact that,
You know,
like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know, like, you know, we Charter Oak uses Saba. You know, I have the ability. I'm working with the vineyard next to, you know, the restaurant, which is one of the most premier vineyards in Napa. And they're giving me all of their grape hummus. You know what I'm saying? So they're making this wine, pressing it, and they've got this really incredible grape hummus, which is like the skins, the seeds, and everything like that. It's just incredible tasting. But I get that on one day. Everything I can get. They've got more than I would ever need, and every year it just gets more. I'm filling, you know, 100 gallons, 150 gallons of this grape hummus. But you know what? I've got 1 week to turn that all into Saba. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, Saba, and the process is like, you know, it's essentially boiling down large vats, huge reductions, large quantities of volume of water and syrup and
that's the coolest
and
thing about cooking. When you say reducing, it's like people don't fathom.
Yeah.
This is almost 44 quarts of liquid being turned into a pint.
Yeah.
You know, being turned into a couple of pints.
And I'm and right into a couple of pints, and we need
48 pints.
We need 15 gallons to get us through the next 3 months of this busy ass summer. So it's like, I've got 1 week to do this, and I've got a kitchen that runs regular service, and the cooks come in earlier. So it's like, nobody asked you to do this, but I'm not doing it. I'm doing it because it's fucking dope. It is cool as shit to be able to get this incredible product, turn this into another incredible product in a span of a small amount of time. It's badass. So like, that's why I do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't do it because I want recognition for it. I don't do it because I think, you know, it can't be done a different way. You know, I can't reach out to a different vineyard and do that. I'm like, dude, this is the best of the best. I have this amount of time. I'm going to do what needs to be done and create something that's just fucking cool. And that's it with all these special things, all these special ingredients, all these really wonderful things that are grown in this area. Is like, there's such a small window where they're perfect, and trying to find that window and lengthen it to being a year from now. Because, you know, the idea of food, it's like, it would be cool. Like, you can preserve peaches and use them in the winter. Great. But it's coolest if you can preserve them in multiple different ways, albeit be it making a vinegar out of peaches, preserving peaches in honey, like Hachimitsu style, making a canning in a mixture of sugar and vinegar, you know, or rock sugar, like candy sugar, you know, having all these components available to use next year to make a dish where it's like, we want to do peaches. We found the most incredible peach that is the most delicious when it's ripe and fresh, and we're going to use that. And we've found a different type of peach that's really incredible canned. and we're going to use that as a small bit of puree or a small bit of this or that. We found another one that has this really bright acidity and really vibrant flavor, but has the shit texture, but is a peach that, you know, has been around and is very important to California agriculture. We're going to preserve that in honey. Like, and being able to use all of those ingredients during the peak season of what you want to use with that fresh peach, it just puts, you know, speaks volumes to what that ingredient can be, what that dish could be.
That's true. And
that's the focus of what, you know, Chris Costow and his methodology and, or that's not a real word, I don't think, but his view on food and his dishes and how that really like focuses that and how that's really affected how our farm works, how our cooks think. How many cooks out there are thinking, you know, we have our menu planning for our farm in January for the summertime. How many cooks are really, you know, thinking of a dish that they're going to put on the menu in August, in the first week of August, that, you know, has to sit down in January when it's rainy and cold as fuck out, and you're standing there trying to picture a dish. What kind of tomatoes do you want, chef? Well, let's figure it out. You know what I mean? I want this type or that type. I have a vision of this. The farm works with it. You know, and they might, because at the end of the day, a lot of the cooks, they're not looking through these magazines. They don't know every single tomato in the world that's out there. So they're talking to the farmer that's has better knowledge of what it could be, who's looking for that specific thing that the chef doesn't even really know he needs or wants. And that starts so much earlier than you could ever imagine. And that's what's really cool about this entire project. These long-term projects, these special projects. That's what's cool about it. But
fuck yeah.
Yeah, man, that's what brought me here. That's what, you know, that's why I've stayed for, you know, shit. In March it'll be 7 years.
Yeah. And, I mean, I've been working with Charlie now for 13 years, you know.
It's been a long time, dude.
Yeah, it's been a long
It's been sick to see you, you know, to see you grow as well as a chef. Like, how cool it was, honestly, for me to come, you know, put my focus on working on the farm and watching you succeeding in the kitchen and the amount of pride. Because, you know, once again,
because like, you had something to fucking directly do with that.
I literally gave you your first job.
Yeah, man.
Where I was, you know, watching you do all
first
the
sous
knucklehead
chef.
Things.
Yeah.
And
all the
to
dumbass
watch
shit.
You be
I remember
a better chef.
There was one time where I was, you know, I got an order on Garde Manger, and we were pretty busy. Not that busy, but, you know, busy enough to where you were on the station, and you were making this salad, and you're like, I'm not going to put it out till this time. And I was like, what's up, man? Why don't you put it up now? You know? And I just had that mentality of like, yeah, just crush it. Just get it out as soon as possible. And it's like, dude, they ordered a fucking filet. Like, this shit's going to take 25 minutes to get there. Like, I'm not going to fuck their experience over getting this salad out early.
Yeah.
You know? And that really showed me like, oh, this is much more than just like, I get the tickets, I make the food. It's, if I make this food at this time, how is that going to affect the guy who's cooking the meat later on in this meal?
Yeah.
You know? And that is one of the most important lessons to learn as a line cook, is respect for the other stations.
Yeah, it's working as a team.
No matter how easy you think that station is or how hard you think the station is. Respect everything.
Yeah. And there's so much more that you don't even see in the front of house.
Exactly.
You know, like,
exactly. Why don't they pick this up? It's like, because maybe they have fucking shit to do.
Maybe they're pouring wine.
Maybe they're pouring wine. Maybe they're talking to the guest.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and that was one of the cool things about Chartered Oak is like, you go out, talk to the guest. You know what it's like to talk to the guest. And that's another thing about, you know, Chef Costow that's cool is like, he made you talk to people. Mm-hmm. He made it important to be able to talk about what you're doing and why you're doing it.
In front
of people.
That you don't know.
Yeah. Because there's a lot of times where, you know, when I first got there, I was tableside commis, and it's like you had to.
Mm-hmm.